Hello and welcome into Pat's Latest. I'm your host, Mike Gambardella. Your Pats keep winning, keep shooting up the NFL rankings, standings. The Pats would be the number 2 seed in the AFC if the playoffs started today, but that hasn't stopped the Patriots from tweaking with their roster as a new addition to the edge position and the latest variable tie, and who that is and why they could be an impact player for this defense right away, where the Patriots rank among the NFL's best right now, including Drake Maye's place among the top quarterbacks. All those rankings for you, as well as a look ahead, looking at the Cleveland Browns and the remaining schedules and where the Patriots could end up at the end of the season. Before we get into everything, make sure you go down, subscribe for the channel, get in the comments, let us know what you think about the Patriots thus far. A shocking start, but Mike Vrabel living up to top billing. MVP Drake Maye, or is it too early for that? Let us know your thoughts and let us know your questions. We'll answer them right here on the show as we get going. Also, make sure you give us that like, and after this one, go back and check out all of our old episodes so you know exactly what's going on with your New England Patriots. We start with the latest addition to the Patriots roster, and defensive end, outside linebacker, edge is the preferred term these days. Caleb Murphy, claimed on waivers from the Chargers. The 6'3", 254-pound Murphy does fill a spot that it was open on the 53-man roster and actually was an undrafted free agent back in 2023, 2 years ago, on Mike Vrabel's Titans. Has made the move over to the Chargers and picked up, he's actually a Ferris State alum, so unheralded player coming up for the Patriots. Kind of fits the scheme. Has played in 13 games with 17 tackles and has half a sack, and actually has played 118 special team snaps this year for the Chargers. So there is opportunity here. They haven't gotten a ton from the edge position outside of Landry and Chasen. Obviously, Anthony Jennings could be on the trade block, and Brady Swinson, others have not been able to do as much. Some analysis from ESPN beat writer Mike Reese, who is always on site. Obviously, he joins the depth group with Landry Chasen, and then saying Elijah Ponder, White, and Jennings, as I just mentioned, in addition to Swinton, Truman Jones, the former Harvard standout. So there's not a ton of depth behind it, and somebody could grasp and catch on quickly. So White is as a limiting impact. And the special teams aspect really gives him that chance to really step out. But again, letting guys who know Mike Vrabel get into the system and see if they can't, break through. Or this also informs Mike Vrabel and Elliott Wolf. Do they need to make a big swing at this deadline here? Is someone like Trey Hendrickson actually available? Max Crosby, the Raiders came out today and said they had a meeting with him to say they are not shopping him. They will not be moving away from their star player in spite of a down season for them. So again, I think this is a low risk move for the Patriots, a smart one, and one that will really determine where the area of biggest need for the Patriots is and can they address that at the trade deadline. Something that they don't have to worry about is the quarterback position. Drake Maye is indeed playing at an MVP level. While he might not be the NFL's MVP through the first quarter of the season, he definitely has seen his stock continue to rise. And when looking at the NFL's top quarterbacks, it's fair to ask, has he entered the top 10 echelon of NFL quarterbacks? I think no matter how you slice it, there is a top 3 in everybody else. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson are those 3 players. Now, for me, I'm not looking at it as a vacuum. It's not just, hey, Lamar Jackson's injured, so take him out of the rankings or push him down. I think strict talent, what you've shown out on the field, you get better points for doing it for longer. And, what you're doing this season actually weighs in a little bit more as well, because you want to see players playing at a high level at all times. So for me, and again, completely subjective. It is those three. Baker Mayfield continues to play at an extremely high level. Justin Herbert has elevated his level of play and gotten up there. Jared Goff has done it for an extremely long time now, and have warranted their place in the top echelons of quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts is coming off a good game. He's kind of playing up and down a little bit, but as the reigning NFL Super Bowl quarterback, you have to be able to put him into the top 10. Additionally, looking at Matthew Stafford, who's done it for such a long time and been able to play to his standard this season, or continues to have his spot in the top 10. That then brings you to who then takes that next two spots in the rankings. And could Drake May grab one of those when someone like Jaden Daniels now, who has just gotten injured and will see an extended period of time missed? Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears also riding a top winning streak. Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers playing at a high level. Probably, if right now we'll get into it shortly, will be my number 2 team in the power rankings. Brock Purdy has been injured, but again, playing in the Super Bowl just 2 years ago. And Dak Prescott is probably the last one to talk about in this echelon of can you crack the top 10? It can be put in any of those orders. I think there's razor thin margins on where each of them go. But at the end of the day, I think Drake May is at that 10 spot. I think Dak Prescott playing really inspired football right now takes the 9, and Jordan Love just on the outside at that 11 spot. Now, where does Drake May go up or down from here? Again, it is an easier schedule, as we've talked about, and the Patriots could potentially even have an inside track for the number 1 overall seed in the AFC. And this happened a few years ago with Mike Vrabel's Titans when, you had Ryan Tannehill and you had Derrick Henry and you played at a high level and you used that to your advantage and you use home field to really make a run. And with the Browns coming up, yes, they have a great defense, but a very young offense that can be exploited. The Falcons continue to play up and down, and Michael Penix is hurt. You have to play at the Buccaneers, which could be tough, but is a beatable team. The Jets, you have to play twice. And again, I have one of the worst records, or the worst record in football at 0-7. A Bengals team that just traded for Joe Flacco. Yes, you beat the Steelers, but is that enough? A Giants team that absolutely collapsed in the fourth quarter. You have to go to the Bills again and against a Ravens team that should be much better than its record. And yes, at 1-5, they would be at the bottom half of the quarter of the NFL, but I think it is a much tougher game than you can anticipate. And again, who knows what the Dolphins bring you in the last game of the season. So I think if you look at it at the surface, if you take the Buccaneers, the Bills, and the Ravens as losses, that's only 3 losses to add on. So you are looking at potentially a 12-5 record, and that could put you in the mix for the number 1 seed. Now, again, this is getting way ahead of you, but looking at where everything shakes out, it's putting the Patriots into a very, very, very good scenario. And finally, looking at if they are the number 1 team in the AFC, how could they not be a top 10 team in the NFL? And for me right now, we said, Green Bay taking that number 2 spot. For me, it is the Detroit Lions coming back, playing extremely well against a team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think the Philadelphia Eagles have had their issues and started to roll again, put them in the top 3. The Kansas City Chiefs, while started slow, I think you cannot take anything away from them, have absolutely earned a top 5 spot, top 4 for me, followed by those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buffalo Bills obviously had that tough loss to the Patriots, but still stay in at number 6. The Indianapolis Colts have absolutely blown everyone away, and while the number 1 record in the NFL belongs to them, I would still only have them about number 7 or 8. For them, Denver Broncos and the Colts are interchangeable. The Seattle Seahawks picking up that big win on Monday Night Football. Slide in at 9, Los Angeles Rams winning in spite of the loss of Puka Nacua, showing the depth of that team. Actually take the top 10 spot for me, and the Patriots actually checking in at number 11. So not a top 10 NFL team yet, but I think as things continue, if you continue to win games in the NFL, it doesn't matter what or who or when you're playing them, it does really add up at the end of the day. And I think the Patriots, as long as they can keep winning, are going to open a lot of eyes. You're going to see a lot of growth from young players and a chance to make this a truly special season. That'll do it for us here on this episode of Pat's Latest. Again, make sure you go down, subscribe for the channel, get in the comments. Let us know if you think a number one seed in the AFC is actually feasible. Forget even the AFC East Championship, Division Championship. We are talking about going full in on this team. Are you in? Are you out? Let us know. Put your questions in there. Give us that like, and now go back and check out all of our old episodes so you know what's going on with your New England Patriots. Fight on, Foxborough.